Hey YouTube, welcome on in to Pokemon Home Update Gen 2 Edition. We finally did it. It took me about 120 to 150 hours of playing through those virtual console games, dealing with the terrible catch rates in Gen 2, making sure I had all the gender differences. I added all of the form variants in there from the Paldea region, the Galar region. Um, did all of that stuff to make sure my name matched. The only thing that isn't caught in a Pokeball, from what you can see, um, are the three of the legendary Pokemon, and you'll see in the video which ones I'm talking about. But I will work on updating that as well. I've already started Gen 3 because I had to get the unknown forms, the question mark and exclamation point, since those were introduced in Fire Red, but you can't get them in Fire Red with a little icon on them. So I got them in the Hoenn region. But I hope you guys have been enjoying this update series. I'm trying, so let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll continue maybe doing this as breakouts for my stream. If you want to watch live when I do these updates or when I'm playing different games, jump on over to twitch.tv/Schneider2010 and give me a follow over there. If you want to know when I'm live, so you can follow me and get a shout out, you can jump over to Twitter and follow me at Schneider2010. You jump over on Facebook if you're still on Facebook. It's Schneider2010 Gaming over there. And you could jump into the Discord. I post on all three of those platforms when I go live. I've got them all linked below as well in the description. But I will let you get to enjoying this video. I thank you for clicking on in, and I'll talk to you in a moment. All right, YouTube, welcome on in to this Vaughn. I'm streaming this right now. So if you want to join, of course, jump on over to twitch.tv/Schneider2010 so you can watch these reviews live. But I've done it. I've finally completed Gen 2. Did Gen 1 a little while ago through the virtual console. Remember, we could see that that little Game Boy symbol down there in the bottom right. For everything that can be done in the virtual console, I've done it that way. The gender differences they are complete now. Female before male in all instances. We can see that down here as well for Butterfree. And I even got the Alolan forms of Gen 1 in the Alolan games. I booted up my copy of Sun and Ultra Moon to get the respective Pokemon. And you could see the symbol changes from the Game Boy down there to the plus, which is the Alola region symbol. So I managed to do that throughout all of it. We could see Pikachu and Raichu, as well as Alolan, Raichu, Sandshrew, and Sandslash. Gender differences are all filled in. All the way across the board. And this one's crazy. I never paid any attention to Vileplume having a gender difference. But it absolutely does. Look at how big those dots are compared to the male version. This one, Alolan Persian, was actually the worst Alolan form to get, in my opinion. Because you have to get it with friendship. And I believe it even had to be at night in the game. So I had to play Ultra Sun at night. Sun at night or Ultra Moon during the day. Because their day and night cycles are reversed between Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And I had to, essentially, I fed it a whole bunch of berries. And I also want to point out, if you look at the bottom, the icon for the Pokeball isn't anything but the Pokeball. I've caught all but 3 Pokemon in a Pokeball. And that's because we'll get to it in a minute. But I'll tell you why here in a minute when we get there. We've got the Hisuian versions as well. Legend Arceus symbol there at the bottom right. And then let me change. Nope, don't want to move. I want to check summary. And you can see the Arceus symbol up there beside its level. And you can see that I got mastery moves on this Hisuian Arcanine. As well as it was caught in a Pokeball as well. I believe I caught it as a Growlithe. As you can see, this Growlithe is actually a higher level. Gender differences between Kadabra and Alakazam. The mustache. crazy. We got the Alolan, Geodude, Graveler, and Golem. Galarian, Slowpoke, and Slowbro, as well as Galarian, Ponyta, and Rapidash. The Unicorn. That's a crazy Pokemon, let's just say. Psychic Fairy, crazy, interesting type. Big old purple unicorn horn on the middle of its head. It's great. Galarian Farfetch'd, male and female Doduo, which looks to be the color, which I've never in my life paid attention to. Didn't realize that was a thing. Alolan, Grimer, and Muck. And I didn't know this either. I don't even know here, what is the difference between these two. Does anybody see a difference? I don't even see a difference, but there's apparently a difference between male and female Hypno. I thought maybe the bag's under the eyes, but no, I don't even see it there. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube, if you see it or want to inform me, throw it in the comments below. Oh, maybe the mane for the male is less shaggy? Is that what it is? The like hair under its chin? But anyway, moving on. We also have the Hisuian, Electrode, and Voltorb, as well as the Alolan, Executor, and Marowak now. Galarian Weezing, with all the version differences here, it's going to be the Horn for Rhyhorn and Rhydon. Horn as well for Seeking and Goldeen. Male and female. See the horn's a little bit longer in the male version. Scyther I didn't even look at to see what the difference was. The wings maybe a little bit bigger. I don't know if you guys know. Maybe the blades too. It looked like the blades were a little bit bigger. Mr. Mime. And I corrected Mr. Mime here and Jinx. Remember in the Gen 1 update, you could only get them in trade through the Virtual Console games. In the American red, blue, and yellow, you could get it in a Japanese version of, I don't remember what it was, green, maybe blue. But you couldn't get them in any of the versions that I had. So I replaced them with their Gen 2 Virtual Console equivalent. So we've got Jinx now and Mr. Mime with my trainer ID. Then we've got the Paldean Tauroses from the Paldea region in Scarlet and Violet. Regular, then we've got standard form, blaze form, and I even have the Aqua Breed up here. We've got both versions of Magikarp and Gyarados now. Both versions of Eevee. I didn't have a female apparently in my last one. And down here is where we get to where the new update, all of the Pokemon and Pokeballs except for the Galar legendary birds. Because I couldn't recatch them in the game I had started. And I haven't started over a playthrough of Sword. So we have them. They have Derek as their name. But they don't currently have regular Pokeballs. I don't know if I'll go back and play that. We'll see how my Gen 8 Pokedex is looking. And if I need to go back for some legendaries, I think I might. Then I may replay Sword and Shield to get those as well for you guys to see. Here we're finally into Gen 2. The Meganium line with male and female Meganium. You can't tell it there in the sprite. But it does have the gender difference. You can see the antenna are a little bit longer in the male. We've got all of the Typhlosion line, including Hisuian Typhlosion. Male and female of both Ladian and Ladybug. And then we've got all of this box filled up all through just Pokeballs. Xatu apparently has a gender difference, which I've never paid attention to either. A lot of these gender differences you're going to notice I have not looked at or paid attention to. The male form has 3 lines on its butt. Oh, you can't see that because my face is in the way. Here you go. So you guys can see the gender difference here. 2 lines, 3 lines on his butt there. All right, jumping back here. The whole Ampharos line, Blossom. We got Azumarill. Female and male Pseudo Widow, which I think they're the little dots on them is different. But I could be wrong. Polytoad. Male and female Apom. Male and female Wooper and Quagsire. With Paldean Wooper. So didn't get that from Scarlet. We've got Sunflora, which was a pain, by the way. Sunkern was fine, but with these Sunstones, you had to get them in specific spots. If you traded it, like if I put it in Pokemon Home and went to get it in BDSP or Scarlet and Violet, like they were very limited. And then if I left it in the Virtual Console game, I had to get first place to get a Sunstone and the catching in the National Forest. So that was a bit of a pain, but I got it. Same with the Murkrow, and I did all 26 A through Z unknowns in the Virtual Console game. And then here, since they were introduced in Gen 3 in Fire Red and Leaf Green, there's not a Fire Red and Leaf Green remake specifically for them for Gen 3, so I got these by finding the Mirage Island in Omega Ruby after I got the flute. So I had to play through and get 7 gym badges in Omega Ruby to get these 2 unknowns. But I got it with the Galarian Slowking as well. The Wobbuffet, Girafarig, male and female. Pineco, Gligar, Steelix. We did it. We got them. The Steelix is shorter? Like, what am I missing here? Let me remove my camera so you guys can maybe see. What's the gender difference there? Was I tricked? Is there not a Steelix gender difference? Or can you just not see it in that sprite? Is Gligar's the fangs? I'm not sure about Gligar either. I don't know. That's not the right camera? That's the right one. Ignore that. I'm not starting soon. I'm here. We got Sizzler, male and female. Snubble and Gramble, Quillfish, Arceus, Legends Arceus or Hisuian and normal. Shuckle, male and female Heracross, which you can actually see in the sprite, the difference there. Sneasel, same with the feather. You can see that in the sprite for both Hisuian and Jotonian, I think they're calling it now, or the original. Teddy Ursa and male and female Ursaring. The Slugma and Macargo. Slugma what, dude? And where'd Macar go? Hey? Any laughs? No? Okay. We got Swinub and Pillow-Swine. Has a gender difference from the list that I found, so I got 2 of them, male and female. Corsola and Galarian Corsola, Remoraid, male and female Octillery, Delibird, Mantine, Scormery, Houndour, and both Houndooms, male and female. What are the differences here? I don't see any difference in the sprite. Are the horns a little bit longer? Yeah, it looks like maybe the horns are longer in the 2 there. Kingdra, Phanpy, male and female Donphan. Porygon 2, which is actually one that I didn't have with my name in the original Pokemon Home review. So I finally got that with my trainer ID from the Virtual Console in Gen 2. Stantler, Smeargle, Tyrogue, and Hitmontop, which I got really lucky. As you can see, Hitmontop, I only needed to do get it to level 21. Level 20 is when it's supposed to evolve with equal attack and defense, but I had to stop it because it wasn't equal. So I had to go out and get a vitamin for it. I think it was the iron. I think it was its defense was too low. So I got the iron, and then I needed to kill a couple attack mons for its EVs there, to make sure they were even. Leveled it up to 21, and it was good to go. It was great. Smoochum, Elekid, and Magby, Miltank, Blissey, and this is the crazy part. Legendary beasts, all in Pokeballs. I'm gonna wrap myself out. Raikou was in the Master Ball. Entei I did catch in a Pokeball, and Suicune I caught in a Pokeball, but this one was guaranteed because I was playing Pokemon Crystal. As well, since I was playing Pokemon Crystal, Celebi was caught in a Pokeball with my trainer ID. Ho-Oh and Lugia, actually both in Pokeballs as well, because I didn't buy any other balls than the Pokeballs. And I just used the Master Ball on Raikou because it was the first one out of the two I found. And then Larvitar, Pupitar, and Tyranitar, all in Pokeballs as well. So the only thing I didn't get in a Pokeball were the Galarian birds. So I think I might try and update that now that I'm thinking about it. So everything can be beautifully Pokeballed up. And maybe I'll do that for the Gen 3 update. So everything through Gen 3 will be in a Pokeball. And where's Jirachi? I think Jirachi goes there. I could be wrong. We'll, of course, have to change that around when I get the rest of my Gen 3 Pokemon from my Omega Ruby. And then, again, I'll have to play a little bit of Alpha Sapphire for Kyogre. Might play through to the end for an extra Deoxys, so I don't have to play through Ruby 3 times instead of 4. Just to cut that down, since I have to play through it for a Kyogre, and do the Delta episodes in Sapphire as well to get the version exclusives there, as well as the Kyogre. Because truly the Kyogre is the only one I couldn't get in Ruby with my trainer ID. Because everything else I can trade and breed and make sure it has my trainer ID. But that's the end there for Gen 2. Everything caught in a Pokeball that I've caught brand new, except obviously the Galarian birds, because I didn't catch them new for this. They just had my trainer ID, so I threw them in. And I wanted to get this out because I finally did it after on and off work, about 200 hours, 220 hours of Pokemon. Because I had to play through all of Crystal, and Pokemon can run in that at their will. Any Pokemon can run in that. The catch rate for the Pokemon in Gen 2 is terrible. It's atrocious. And then just trying to make sure I find them all, having to play through Gold all the way through for Remoraid, because you have to have the Super Rod. It's only available in Gold and Silver, and Gold was the one I chose to play. Play all the way through, get to Kanto, get the Super Rod, go back and get Remoraid. It was the last Pokemon, Remoraid, and then the 2 Octilleries that I needed for this video. And then I evolved everything, and I was good to go. But there we go, guys. Gen 2, all the way up. Gender differences, form variations, and all but 3 Pokemon caught in Pokeballs, guys. Crazy, crazy cool, but I'm still working on it. Working on Gen 3 now. Hopefully that video will be much quicker because it's only 2 games. I do have to play through them a few times, but I can also use Pokemon Bank, so I can use Pokemon from previous games. Most likely the Ruby run that I'm doing now, I'll use those Pokemon as I'm running through Ruby in the future, and then I'll run through Sapphire to get the Kyogre and the Deoxys I need. But there we go, guys. YouTube, thanks for jumping on in. I hope you enjoyed this Gen 2 review. I'll see you next time.